General Hospital will reveal Carly and Brennan's relationship has been shadowed by doubt and red flags from the very beginning. Even in their most passionate moments, there has always been an undeniable imbalance in their motives and trust. Carly, who has endured too much heartbreak in the past, deserves a relationship built on honesty and sincerity, one free from manipulation and secrecy. Yet with Brennan, transparency has never been his strong suit. He has carefully maintained an air of charm and control, but as cracks begin to form in his carefully constructed facade, it becomes clear that his true nature is far more complex than he lets on. Since Brennan entered Carly's life, he has subtly orchestrated situations that make her dependent on him. This isn't a relationship founded on love, it's one built on calculated control. As his secrets begin to unravel, Carly may realize that Brennan's deceptions run deeper than she ever suspected, potentially shattering the fragile trust she placed in him. Furthermore, the recasting of the character has only amplified the lack of chemistry between them, leaving fans unconvinced about their romantic connection. If a pairing fails to captivate audiences from the start, is it even worth salvaging? GH now has a perfect opportunity to rewrite Carly's romantic trajectory. She doesn't need to fall into another cycle of pain and regret. Instead, she deserves a love story with someone who is not only strong but also genuinely devoted to her, without the need for hidden agendas or manipulation. Whether it's someone from her past returning or a fresh new love interest emerging, one thing is clear: Carly should not waste her time on Brennan. Forgiving him would only reopen the door for more heartbreak. What she truly needs is to walk away from this relationship and carve out a path toward real happiness. Brennan is undeniably at the center of the turmoil that led Josslyn to that cabin and, ultimately, to the moment that changed her life forever. His actions, whether intentional or not, set off a devastating chain of events that forced Josslyn into a situation no young woman should ever have to face. She didn't go to that cabin by accident. She was driven there by the circumstances Brennan created, and when the dust settled, she was left with blood on her hands. The aftermath of killing Cyrus Renaud isn't just about legal consequences, it's about the emotional and psychological toll that Josslyn will have to carry for the rest of her life. And instead of helping her find a way to process that trauma, Brennan has only dug her deeper into a web of deception and manipulation. Rather than allowing Josslyn to come clean to Carly and seek the support she so desperately needs, Brennan has pushed her towards secrecy, forcing her to withhold the truth from her mother. This isn't just a simple lie, this is a dangerous cover-up that could have far-reaching consequences. Carly has always been fiercely protective of her daughter, and if she were to uncover the full extent of Brennan's influence over Josslyn, her fury would know no bounds. Brennan has made a grave mistake in underestimating just how far Carly would go to protect her child. But beyond Carly's wrath, there is also the very real possibility that Brennan's pressure will only lead Josslyn further down a path she may never be able to escape from. As if manipulating Josslyn into silence wasn't bad enough, Brennan has now placed her in an even more precarious position by steering her toward a dangerous assignment with the WSB. This isn't a calculated career move. This is an outright risk to Josslyn's safety, and Brennan knows it. The WSB is not for the faint of heart, it's a world of espionage, deceit, and life-or-death decisions. By pushing Josslyn toward this path, Brennan is not only ensuring that she remains within his control, but he's also placing her in constant danger. The question is, why? Is this just another calculated move to tighten his grip on her life? Or does Brennan have an ulterior motive, one that benefits him far more than it benefits Josslyn? Either way, his actions have proven one thing: he isn't looking out for her best interests. He's using her as a pawn in a much larger game, and if no one stops him, the cost could be catastrophic. But Brennan's offenses don't stop there. His calculated betrayal of Jason Morgan is yet another sign that he is willing to go to any lengths to secure his position. Framing Jason was not just a tactical move, it was a declaration of war. Jason has spent years navigating the criminal underworld, and while he operates in morally gray areas, one thing has always been clear: he is fiercely loyal to those he cares about. Brennan's decision to set Jason up wasn't just a personal attack, it was a direct challenge to one of the most dangerous men in Port Charles. Jason won't take this betrayal lightly, and when he finally uncovers the truth, there will be consequences. More importantly, Brennan's scheme against Jason has shattered whatever fragile connection he might have had with Carly. If there was ever a chance that Carly could look past his manipulation and deception, that chance is gone now. Jason has been a constant in Carly's life for decades. Their bond is unbreakable, and no amount of scheming will change that. By targeting Jason, Brennan has ensured that Carly will never trust him again. If he thought he could win her over by controlling the situation, he was sorely mistaken. Carly is not the kind of woman who forgives easily, and she certainly won't forgive someone who has actively worked to destroy the people she loves. Brennan has crossed every possible line. He manipulated Josslyn into a situation that resulted in a man's death, pressured her into keeping secrets from her mother, put her in harm's way with a reckless WSB assignment, and set Jason up for a fall. Every step of the way, he has proven himself to be more than just a threat. He is a dangerous force that needs to be stopped before he causes even more destruction. Carly, Josslyn, and Jason may not realize the full extent of his betrayal just yet, but when they do, Brennan will have nowhere left to hide. His downfall is inevitable, and when it comes, it will be a reckoning he never saw coming. Carly has never taken risks lightly when it comes to her children, and she has every reason to be fiercely protective. The trauma of losing Morgan still haunts her. His tragic death left wounds that will never fully heal. She has already watched Michael suffer severe consequences as well, enduring life-threatening injuries that ultimately forced him to seek treatment in Germany. That experience nearly broke her, and she vowed never to let anything like it happen again. But now, with Josslyn walking a similarly dangerous path, Carly is staring down another nightmare she thought she had escaped. The realization that her daughter is on a collision course with destruction is something she simply cannot ignore. What makes it even more infuriating is that Brennan, the very man who claims to care for Carly, is the one pulling the strings behind the scenes. His reckless influence over Josslyn has put her life in jeopardy, yet he continues to play his charming game, pretending to be someone Carly can rely on. He's not just a manipulator, he's a hypocrite, pretending to admire Carly's strength and devotion while actively orchestrating the downfall of the people she loves most. Carly may not have pieced everything together yet, but once she does, her fury will be unstoppable. The agony of seeing Michael struggle to recover in Germany was enough to push Carly to her breaking point. She fought to keep him alive, to hold her family together despite the unbearable pain. Now, Josslyn's life is teetering on the edge of a similar disaster, and the very thought of losing another child will unleash a storm that Brennan won't be able to withstand. Carly doesn't just let things go, especially not when it comes to her children. And when she finally connects the dots, Brennan will have nowhere to hide from the wrath that is coming his way. What makes it all the more disgusting is the way Brennan continues to court Carly, as if he hasn't already caused irreparable damage to her family. His flirtations, his patience, his calculated moves, all of it is a sickening display of manipulation. He wants Carly to believe that he is a man worth trusting, worth waiting for. But the truth is, while he whispers sweet nothings in her ear, he is simultaneously leading Josslyn down a treacherous path. He is a poison seeping into Carly's life, masquerading as a source of comfort while he quietly chips away at everything she holds dear. The day Carly discovers the truth will be the day Brennan's game falls apart. There will be no forgiveness, no second chances, and certainly no love left for him to cling to. Carly has already suffered too much loss, and she won't stand by while Brennan puts her daughter at risk. His downfall is inevitable, and when it comes, it will be swift, brutal, and entirely deserved. Carly deserves so much more than a man who operates in the shadows, betraying her trust while flashing a charming smile. Brennan's actions have proven time and time again that he is not the man Carly needs in her life. He might be smooth, persuasive, and patient, but none of that changes the fact that he has been deceiving her all along. No matter how strong their chemistry might have seemed at first, a foundation built on lies and manipulation will never lead to the lasting love Carly deserves. There are plenty of other potential love interests for Carly. Men who would treat her with honesty, respect, and true devotion rather than using her as a pawn in their own dangerous games. Once the truth about Brennan's schemes comes to light, Carly may finally see him for what he really is, another disappointment in a long line of men who have hurt her. But this time, she has a chance to break the cycle. Instead of letting another toxic relationship drag her down, Carly should walk away from Brennan for good and open herself up to something real. The question remains, who should Carly be with next? Should she rekindle an old flame with someone who truly knows her heart, or should she find something new, something unexpected? GH fans have long debated who Carly's perfect match might be, and now, with Brennan's inevitable downfall, the door is wide open for a new chapter in her love life. Are you still holding out hope for Carly and Brennan despite everything, or are you ready to see her move on? One thing is for sure, GH spoilers suggest Brennan may lose Carly for good when his lies are exposed, and when that happens, hearts will be broken. Stay tuned for the emotional fallout as the truth finally comes to light. Just when it seems like Carly's world is falling apart, one man steps in to save her from the web of deception that Brennan has spun around her, Sonny. Despite their complicated history, Sonny has always been Carly's rock in moments of crisis, and this time is no different. As the walls close in around her, Sonny comes forward with the devastating truth about Brennan, shattering any illusions Carly might have held on to. This isn't just about Brennan's betrayal, it's about protecting the people Carly loves most, and Sonny refuses to let her stand alone in this battle. With Michael still recovering in Germany and Josslyn on a dangerous path, Carly is more vulnerable than ever. Brennan has been pulling the strings, quietly manipulating her while endangering her children, but Sonny isn't about to let that continue. He lays everything out for Carly, the lies, the setups, the ways Brennan has been using her as a pawn. The truth is painful, but it's exactly what Carly needs to hear. No matter how strong she is, no matter how fiercely independent she tries to be, there are moments when she needs someone to fight for her. And Sonny has never stopped being that person. As Carly processes the full extent of Brennan's betrayal, she realizes that she has been walking blindfolded into another devastating heartbreak. But this time, she's not alone. Sonny is there, standing beside her, ready to help her pick up the pieces and take action. Together, they shift their focus to what truly matters, saving Michael and Josslyn before it's too late. Sonny's influence and resources prove invaluable, as he moves swiftly to neutralize the threats Brennan has put into motion. With his help, Carly is finally able to reclaim control over the chaos in her life. More than that, Sonny's unwavering support reminds Carly of something she has tried to deny for too long: there is no one in this world who understands her the way he does. Despite their past mistakes, their betrayals, and their breakups, there is an undeniable force that keeps pulling them back together. As the dust settles and Brennan's downfall becomes inevitable, Carly finds herself drawn back into Sonny's orbit, this time with a renewed sense of clarity. He is the one person she can always count on, the one man who will never let her fall. GH fans can expect an explosive revelation as Carly finally sees Brennan for who he truly is. But in the midst of heartbreak, something even more powerful emerges: the rekindling of an unbreakable love. Sonny isn't just helping Carly get justice, he's reminding her that she has always been, and will always be, his greatest love. With Michael and Josslyn safe and Brennan exposed for the liar he is, Carly must now decide if she's ready to embrace the love that has been waiting for her all along. Stay tuned, because Brennan's downfall is just the beginning. A new chapter is about to unfold, and Carly's heart may finally find its way back home, to Sonny. Brennan may have thought he could outmaneuver Carly, manipulating her emotions while orchestrating chaos behind her back, but he has severely underestimated the woman he's been toying with. Now that Sonny has pulled back the curtain on his deception, Carly isn't just heartbroken, she's furious. And when Carly Spencer is out for revenge, there's no escaping the storm that follows. With her children's safety on the line and her trust completely shattered, Carly refuses to be another one of Brennan's victims. She is determined to make him pay, and not just with empty threats. Carly is about to unleash a reckoning that Brennan never saw coming. Armed with the full truth, she won't just walk away from him, she will dismantle his entire game piece by piece, ensuring that he loses everything he ever held dear. With Sonny by her side, Carly now has the power, the resources, and the resolve to strike back. She won't rest until Brennan is exposed for the liar and manipulator he truly is, and she's more than willing to play dirty to make it happen. Whether it's tearing apart his reputation, setting him up for a public downfall, or even letting the right people in Port Charles take matters into their own hands, one thing is for sure, Brennan's days of deceiving Carly, and everyone around her, are numbered. The worst mistake Brennan ever made was thinking he could have Carly's heart while betraying everything she holds sacred. Now, the tables have turned, and he's about to learn firsthand what happens when you cross Carly Spencer. Stay tuned, because the fallout from this betrayal is going to be brutal, and Carly isn't stopping until Brennan pays the ultimate price.